Hey, everybody, we are on the road to celebrate Halloween. And so we are doing some horror movies. And so today we are talking about The Last Voyage of the Demeter. And so is it any good? Is it really a vampire story? I don't know, but you're going to have to listen to find out here on Two Geeks and a Microphone.
The night is dark and deep. Stories told, the tales unfold, secrets we shall keep. Halloween's here, the geeks are near, with tales to make you fear. Laugh and screams, it's all a dream, but the fun is so clear. Movies, shows, the spooky pros, we dissect them all with glee. Monsters, ghouls, and ghostly fools, no topics off limits to see. Halloween's here, the geeks are near, with tales to make you fear. Laugh and screams, it's all a dream, but the fun is so clear.
And
so who talks first? You talk first? I talk first.
I jumped the gun, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to our show, Two Geeks and a Microphone. I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with the one, the only, the most industrious, who's been making all the new music and all the new videos for us for Halloween, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good evening, morning. I don't know. we're recording in the evening, but it will be shown in the morning. So good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Okay. Anyway, hey everybody, we are excited because, well, this technically, as you said, Mike, we're kind of pre-recording it, but we are going to do it during our normal time to have it go quote unquote live. But one of the things that Mike had a good idea about was really, hey, let's start ramping up for Halloween. I'm like, okay.
Hey, I had a good idea.
What? It's recorded now for all posterity.
Nice. I might have to make a sound clip of that.
Yeah, go for it. Run along with was right, everybody.
I got a few.
Yep. Well, everybody, I'm excited about our topic today. Mike and I have not talked about this. We're doing a movie review of The Last Voyage of the Demeter, and I'm looking forward to having discussions about it. And so we haven't talked, so I'm very excited. We're going to see. It's going to be good. And so we're going to go ahead and, Mike, is there anything you want to talk about before we start hitting our geeky news and geekdar?
No, let's jump right into the geeky news.
Sounds good.
And here we go.
Hey, everybody. Okay. So as you know, Mike and I really have been enjoying our time doing AI and interacting with AI. And he's been using Chat GPT, but then now he's been also using Claude and I brought him over to the dark side to Claude. But while Claude is great for conversation, storytelling, and writing, Chat GPT just released this week a new feature. It is their advanced voice feature, I guess is the best way to say it. So you could kind of talk to it and have it talk back to you kind of a thing. It was kind of wooden and stuff. Well, lo and behold, the advanced feature allows you to carry on a conversation with the AI. And I wanted you guys to see this. Hopefully it comes across okay. And so I'm going to bring up on the screen. The gentleman here is Matt Wolf. Now, Matt is, I like Matt because he is my AI news guy. He's really good. WOLFE. And if you look up his channel, he keeps you up to date on all the stuff that's happening. He consolidates all the AI news and brings it, and he goes to events. He's at an event right now, kind of a thing, but he wanted to share this. So I queued this up, and I won't play the whole thing because it's like 15 minutes long, but I want you to hear what this AI can do and what he does with it.
For me and why it worked for D here over on X, but I've got it working now, so I'm excited to play around with it. All right, so let's go ahead and fire up ChatGPT's advanced voice mode and see how this goes. This is going to be fun. Hey,
Matt, how can I help today?
can you speak to me in an Irish accent?
Sure, Matt. Let's give it a go. What would you like to chat about in this lovely Irish lilt?
Actually, you know what? Never mind. Speak to me in a Spanish accent.
All right, switching to a Spanish accent. What would you like to talk about, Matt?
Actually, you know what? Scratch the Spanish accent. Let's go Australian accent.
No worries, Matt. Let's switch to an Australian accent. What's on your mind today?
I really, really like that. Let's, can you please tell me a scary story, but I want you to sound scared while you're telling me this story.
All right, here goes. Late one night, a man was driving through the outback. His car started
I
sputtering.
want you to sound even
and-
more scared. You don't sound scared enough.
Okay, I'll give it another shot. So
Wow.
he was stranded in the outback, and the wind began to howl. Suddenly, he heard whispers, but there was no one around. The whispers grew louder.
That's good. I get it. I get the idea. This time, I want you to tell me a joke, but I want you to laugh when you're done telling me the joke, like it's the funniest joke you've ever heard.
All right, here goes. Why don't skeletons fight each other?
Why?
They don't have the guts.
All right. What I want to know from you, because you are the new ChatGPT advanced voice assistant, I want to know what I should actually test. I don't really know what to test to really put this new app through its motion. So I want you to suggest some things for me to test.
Well, to get a good feel for the new ChatGPT advanced voice assistant, you could try a few things. First, test its ability to maintain a natural conversation on various topics, from tech to travel or hobbies. You can also check how well it adapts to different accents or emotions. Then, explore its storytelling capabilities by asking for a short story or a joke. And of course, since you're into tech, maybe dive into some AI-related discussions to see how deep the conversation can go.
Okay,
Wow.
I've already actually tested most of that. So let's dive into a discussion about tech. What are some of the things that are going on in the AI world, some of the advancements happening in the AI world that people should be the most excited about?
AI is making waves in several areas right now. First off, there's generative AI, with models like GPT and DALL-E transforming how we create content, from writing to art. Then there's AI in healthcare, improving diagnostics and personalized medicine. And let's not forget about autonomous vehicles, where
So I'm going to stop it there. So she goes on more and stuff like that, but yeah, right?
Or
Right?
here we go.
Wow. Wow. I thought it'd be fun for everybody to hear just, all it can do. I didn't want to interrupt him and pause it because I wanted, I didn't want my voice to come over what the AI was saying. But you can change the voices. You can change. I mean, it's just phenomenal. You can have it speak.
That was amazing when he told it in the middle of her telling a story. No, you're not scared enough. Be more scared.
Right.
And yeah, it was like he was actually talking to another person. That's wow. I mean, it's awesome. It's scary too.
Yes. So, so one other thing that's just happened, and I'm going to share my screen again.
Okay.
Google has released Imagen 3. So where it is their text to image model. Now, it's in, I believe it's in Gemini. So I know you're doing Gemini, or you have been doing Gemini, but it's supposed to be phenomenal. So I thought we could test it here real quick.
Okay.
And see what kind of image should we make. Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay. Let's see. Please give me an image, a hyper realistic. Let me say that hyper realistic image of. Should we do something specific, like something spooky?
Sure.
Spooky. Of a decrepit hand coming out of a grave, a dirt grave with an old weathered headstone with cracks and grass on it. You ready?
Nice.
Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Oh, it's not doing Imogen 3. It's doing Imogen 2. So Imogen 3 is not. Because I'm not a paid person. I'm not a paid person.
But it gave us something. It gave us 3 images. So we've got one skeleton hand coming out of the grave and touching the gravestone. That's pretty cool.
There's that one.
Now it's a front-facing one of another skeleton hand touching the gravestone. And then
that one, I like that look better.
Yeah, more of a mound.
But
that's cool.
Right.
Very cool.
So I you know what? I should have known Imogen 3 was probably only for those who are paying for Gemini. I'm not paying for Gemini and stuff. But.
Gotcha.
All right. So you know me, I love me some AI news and the things that are going on. And the Imogen 3 really looked good. Let me see if I can go back to it. Yeah. I mean, look at these images. Like this wolf.
I'm not seeing anything, Stephen.
Oh, because I didn't hit the add to stage. My bad. Thank you. But you see this wolf, how it looks, these people here laughing, this landscape. That's all AI generated images.
Just as long as it's not giving us people with like 6 fingers and
right, no guarantees, but I think that's one of the things they've been working on. All right, that's it for me on the news.
Cool. All right. All right. So let's move on to Geekdar.
Control with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost. Control with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all he's lost.
Okay. So for people who might have just joined us and don't know what Geekdar is kind of our show and tell for geeks.
That's a good idea. Yeah, let people know. Mm-hmm.
Right. So I have something that I had seen advertised several months back, and when I found out it was at my local comic book store, I had to get this. This is freaking awesome. So this is a reprint of a classic Superman comic. It is Superman versus Muhammad Ali. However, this comic is gigantic.
Whoa.
It's bigger.
Supplies.
Yeah. It is a super oversized comic book, and the cover is just beautiful with Superman and Muhammad Ali in the fighting ring together. And the art is just incredible in this. It's that great 70s style comic book art, Yeah. I mean, this is from the 70s. So, but yeah, it just looks phenomenal. It's not a cheap book. It was $14.99. So expect to pay a pretty penny for this if you want to get it, but it's super cool. I remember seeing this comic when I was a kid. I never bought it, but seeing it and thought, oh, that'd be a good comic to have it. Well, now I have it in
Nice.
giant size. And I'll save the other one for our next episode. So
Ooh,
that's
okay.
my geek.
All right. Are we ready for the main event?
I'm ready if you are.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
It's time for the main event. All righty then. Well, everybody, we are talking about the last voyage of the Demeter.
So
And-
the last voyage of the Demeter is actually like the first chapter of Bram Stoker's Dracula, the book. Now, I've never read the book,
I've never read it either.
but this portion of the story, from what I understand, had never to until this movie. So it was a new concept. And I personally think it was a cool concept to bring about. I don't know why people have skipped over this chapter in the past because it was pretty intense.
Yeah. I'm curious how much of it is the beginning of the chapter, or if the first chapter is just the log, like the ship's log.
That's a good question. I don't know. I should have looked that up before we started.
Right.
So you got to bring these things up to me.
We said we weren't going to talk about it until we got here.
Yes. Save it for the podcast, right?
Save it for the podcast. That is.
But Megan, you had a fact that you were talking about when you and I were watching the movie on Monday. But you got to add to the stage. There you go.
I was gonna click that.
All right. So, what is your fact about the Demeter?
So, I can't talk. You kept talking about the name, or you kept telling me the title of it,
Mhm.
and I'm like, why do I know the word Demeter? I'm like, that sounds so familiar. So I looked it up, and Demeter is actually is a Greek goddess. She's the Greek goddess of where'd it go? The harvest, agriculture, fertility, and sacred law. She's also Persephone's mother.
Nice.
Who is the queen of the underworld.
Nice. So that all fits really well with this story too. And I kind of wonder if, you got the statue, the woman.
I would assume that's supposed to be her.
That's what I'm wondering. If that's actually supposed to be her or not.
You meant to look it up. I wanted to see if she has any other ties to Dracula. Because I didn't really understand why the boat was Demeter.
Well, I mean, if you, like you said, she's represents the undead, right?
Well, that would be more Persephone.
Well, sorry.
Maybe. I don't know. That's interesting. I haven't thought about that. So what's the main plot of the film then? Maybe that'll help give us some concept on the Demeter, Last Voyage of the Demeter.
So the main plot of this is actually the voyage of Dracula from Romania to England.
How he gets to England.
Right. How he gets to England, which I said before, this part of the story's never been, at least not that I know of. Maybe somewhere in it has, but as far as I know in film, this has never been explored, which I thought was a great concept.
Yes. Yeah. And it all takes place, everybody, on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Well, most of it. Like you got the beginning where they're at port, they're putting on the supplies, some things happen there. You get some characters introduced, which is cool. And then they set sail and everything is on the ship. And for me, it made the horror that much more intense because there's no place to go.
No, there's no escape.
You were all on the ship, and you're right there. And it was that in itself was a great aspect to the film. It's all in the ship, but yet the special effects were great, like going in the water, like, looks like it was great. The stars, the sky, the ship itself looked great. I mean, just the detail they put in the special effects was seamless. I felt like there wasn't anything that was I didn't have that feeling of anything being green screened. You know what I mean? I mean,
I get it.
It wasn't like over the top CGI. It was good CGI.
I think this was very well done. And the vampire looked really good too. I really enjoyed him. Megan, you were about.
It was a different take. Oh, I'm sorry, Megan. Were you saying something? I'm sorry.
You said that it's never been done before. Are you talking about like the whole boat thing?
Well, as far as I know, the voyage, from Dracula from Romania into England, as far as I know, has not been done on film. I mean,
because when we were watching it, it made me think of Morbius. Because didn't
yes, Morbius is based on this. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
which I know that
because his change happens on the boat, and he kills everyone on the boat and stuff. Yes, they based it on this part of the story. That's exactly.
That's because.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead, Meg.
I was just gonna say he kept saying that it has never been done, and I was like, but that feels like Morbius.
But Morbius isn't Dracula. Morbius is a different vampire.
True.
So
but he's based off Dracula.
Right. He's based off of Dracula, but he's not Dracula.
I think
and it's not exactly
of the Dracula story has not been done, like out of the book. Is how I understood what you were saying. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But yes, you are correct in that sense. This story has been sort of told through Morbius, but it's not exactly the same thing. Morbius is based off of these details. That's what it is. So
that's interesting. I didn't make that connection. That's interesting.
But yeah, that's good attention to detail, though.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody, we kind of give our ratings and stuff like that, and then we kind of talk about it and kind of a thing. Now that we've kind of sort of told the plot, and really, there's not much to the plot as far as where it's at, but yet everything that happens is great story. I thought so. Who gets to go first, and what are we going to use for our scale?
Ooh, let's see, scale. Man,
that's a good question.
Yeah, because let's just use.
There wasn't really an object.
Yeah, there wasn't. Well, let's use wooden stakes since it's Dracula. I mean that makes sense.
I'm up for it. Wooden stakes, right on. I love it. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Like it.
So as far as you saying, there's not a lot to the plot. The plot is pretty much given away at the very beginning of the film. You're pretty much told what's going to happen. And you kind of get that from the title too. So as far as that goes, there's not a lot of surprise in this film. I mean, the details are right there in the title. This is the last voyage of the Demeter. So, everyone is dead. To quote the one actor from Rogue One, he dead, she dead, they dead.
Oh, when they were doing the interview, yeah,
right. So yeah, and I think the story is good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. The horror aspect is really good in this. Like you said, it's on a ship. There is nowhere for you to escape. I mean, you could jump off the ship, sure, but chances are you're going to die in the ocean if you do. So,
that too.
Right. So it's like, do I die in the ocean in the cold water, or do I try and survive this voyage? So with that said, it's pretty freaking intense. The kills are quite gruesome in it, and like I said, I enjoyed the vampire. I will say with the fact that you kind of know the plot already, you kind of know what's going to happen. It's kind of hard to get attached to too many characters in this because it's like,
okay.
I mean, that's the way I felt personally.
Sure. Okay.
I just didn't feel a whole lot of attachment to hardly anyone. Just because I'm like, well, they're all gonna die, so what's the point? So to me, it was a little bit more about how Dracula kills everyone, how they discover Dracula, that kind of thing. And so overall, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it, and I will probably give it 8 out of 10 wooden stakes.
Okay. All right. So Megan, you saw it with him. Do you want to give yours?
Sure. Do you want the rating first, or do you want?
You do however you would like. Go for it.
You do you, Megan.
Well, I really want to read the book
Oh,
because it's intriguing me more and more because I want to know. I mean, like, I've always liked Dracula. I've always liked vampires, real vampires, not Twilight. Those are not real vampires.
I agree. Sparkly vampires.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite series in like middle school and continued on to high school was the Chronicles of Vladimir Todd. Still absolutely love that series.
And what's that series again? And what's it about?
The Chronicles of Vladimir Todd. It is I want to say 5 or 6 book series about this teenager, or well, it starts preteen because it starts in 8th grade, who is half vampire, half human. He's not supposed to be, because he's the first born vampire, and it's just kind of him trying to live his life, and then there's a bigger plot that goes later on into the books about him being about his how he's not supposed to be.
So I'm sorry. So how does that relate to Dracula then? So you're saying you like those books, or you enjoy that, so you want to read Dracula?
Because I like vampires. That's what got me into vampires.
I gotcha. Okay. Sorry. I thought I'm a little fuzzy tonight.
They do. The series does also reference, like they call out Nosferatu and like the original Dracula.
Okay.
So I have kind of wanted to read the book before, but watching this makes me want to read it more.
Okay.
Because I know it's directly based off of it.
Gotcha. What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was good. It's good, but it's also, I don't know if I'd watch it again. Maybe like after I read the book, or like the first chapter, I'd watch it again to see the similarities. But I don't know if it would be like something that I would watch yearly or anything like that.
I think that's fair, actually.
So
I won't. It's not a movie I'd watch yearly. That's an interesting distinction, though. Go ahead, keep going. Sorry.
You're fine. I just, it was interesting, but it also, at the same time, there was parts where it dragged a little bit, and
okay.
I mean, maybe not dragged, but there's just a little bit that I lost interest at some points, but that just could just be my attention span. So I did really enjoy it, but I'd set it at a 7.
Okay. All right. Excellent. At a 7 out of 10 with stakes. Okay.
Die, Dracula, die.
Right.
I just want to read no, the wooden stakes comes from the book or where that came from. I need to figure that out.
Yeah. Here's my thing about the movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. I mean,
I'm
granted,
dying to find this out because, yeah, I had something to say about you when we were watching it. Go ahead,
we'll
Steve.
probably be square on. We'll probably be square on. I won't. Although I enjoyed the film, there are some aspects of the film. One thing I did not like at all, and it's probably what you're going to reference. Probably is something I don't like in any of my shows or movies, kind of a thing. And so that was in there. So I'm taking off a point for that for sure.
Okay.
Just right off the bat, boom. Nope, I don't do that in my movies, kind of a thing, or even TV shows. If they have that, I stop watching the TV shows. So, but I was invested in the storytelling, the horror genre coming through. It's not it's not like Blumhouse horror. It's not like the gratuitous violence, even though it's horror, it's violent. And each of the kills was different, was a different take. It was kind of like one little Indian down, two, the whole 10 Indians, the
I love that story.
right. And I was like, oh, one's down, and was that an Agatha Christie novel? I think it was an Agatha Christie novel. Yeah. So one person is down, then another person is down, then a third person is down, kind of a thing. So I enjoyed really the horror aspect of it, the creepiness of it, the moments you can't see, you can't see beyond the ship. And even there comes a point where in the ship, you can't see 2 feet in front of you, kind of thing. So where is the vampire? Where is he at and stuff? So I did enjoy it quite a bit. I agree with you. There are some aspects of it, would I watch it again? Probably not, just because of time. If I had all the time in the world, I'd probably watch it before I'd watch Dracula. Just if it's part of the book. I'm like you. I would like to read, Megan. I like you. I'd like to read that first chapter just to see, how they paralleled it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more in the chapter. A lot more in the movie than there is in the chapter. Cause you can't make a whole movie out of it, kind of a thing. But I really enjoy it. But I give it a good 8 out of 10 wooden stakes.
Oh, wow. You and I gave it the same score.
We did. So Megan gave it a 7. So that averages out to 7.2458. I'm just kidding. I'm making that up. Actually, that's on the wrong side. It'd be like 7.7. Oh, wait.
I apologize. I had to go take care of my dog before she killed herself with a TV tray.
Yeah. No, that's all right. It's okay. I get it.
So Megan, did I call what
I didn't say because that's spoiler territory.
Oh, you didn't say. Okay.
I didn't say because that's spoilerific territory. So I waited.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
All right. So everybody, okay, from here on out, everybody, we've given our ratings, what we liked about stuff. Now we move into spoilers. So be warned. Now, granted, it's a movie that came out last year, 2023. So if you haven't seen it or you want to wait and come back, go watch it, come back. I will say this out of my review. Was it worth the rental? Well, actually, I upped my Paramount plan to include Showtime for a month. So was it worth that price? Yes. Yes, it was. It was worth that. Now I have a whole month that I can watch a whole bunch of other movies and they cancel that part of it. Great.
I thought it was well worth a watch. I mean, like I said, it's a part of the Dracula story that, as far as I know, has not really been explored. So I like that aspect of it. So yes, I think this is definitely worth a watch. I'm also with Megan. I don't know if this is something I would watch every year, again, I'm kind of with you. I want to read the first part of the book and see how that compares with this movie. So yeah, but overall, I think this is a good film.
It is a good film. It was well done. The music was good. I didn't look to see who did the music. The cinematography was really good. The special effects were great. Yeah. So, all right. Are we ready for the spoilery warning?
Yes.
All right, everybody. So here's the dealio. So
I'm looking for it.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just put the sign up. All right, spoiler alert. So spoilerific. So shall we say what we liked about the story first before I really harp on the one thing I didn't like, or you just want me to jump in and harp on the thing I didn't like and see if you were right?
I want to know if I'm right, but I'm like 99.9% sure I'm right.
So for those listeners who have never heard me talk about this before on the show, I despise when kids get hurt in film, in movies and stuff. I hate it. I just think there are some lines that shouldn't be crossed, kind of a thing. And I get it. I know why some people do it. I know why things, and that's okay. This is just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, that's okay. But I absolutely hate it. And the captain's grandson is on the ship. Now, I thought they did a good job of making him a lovable character. And when the vampire got him, I was like, are you kidding me? Kind of a thing. So I was pretty upset about that. Even though, yes, you're right. Everyone dies, kind of a thing, or well, sort of. But you don't know who's going to live or die as it goes. You really don't know. And I thought that was good tension. Because when the ship is on the shore, you're like, they talk about everybody being dead, but you do find out there's one person who escaped. But
technically two escaped.
Technically, yes, you are correct.
Yes.
So that's the one thing I didn't like. I just took a point off for that because I was like, nope.
I knew it. I told Megan.
Yeah.
Didn't I, Megan? As soon as it happened, I went, Steven doesn't like this movie, and I can't wait to see what he gives it.
Right.
In fact, I was worried you're going to shut it off right then and there.
Yeah. No. I mean, because it was good enough in the story that I was like curious. Now, I will say this. I think they did a really nice job of, well, when the vampire attacked him, they did a really nice job of keeping it kind of, it wasn't super gory, if that makes sense. It was scary.
Yeah.
Until the sun came up and all bets were off.
I loved it when the sun came up, though. That was cool. That was really fun.
I'm glad they kept that in the story. The whole thing about the sun really,
So yeah, if you know your vampire lore, for the most part, vampires cannot come out in the sunlight, otherwise they will burn. And some of the people who got bit but not killed and were still alive, well, one of them in particular, they had him tied to the mast and the sun came up, and that was a pretty gruesome death.
Not the sun, but the guy who they had, because the sun hadn't turned yet, but the guy who on that mast and stuff. Yeah. And I liked his character. I really did like his character.
Well, I'm not saying I didn't like anyone. I just didn't really get attached. You know what I mean?
There wasn't enough time to really do some character development to really care about the characters, except for a few, just a few of them.
Yeah, the little boy, I get that. And there's somewhat of an attachment to him, but again, I was just like, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. Now, I will say this: his death, it had meaning to the story. It wasn't like a how should I say it? A gratuitous death.
Correct.
For instance, Halloween. All of Michael Myers' kills they're pretty much gratuitous kills. We're watching. Let's face it, we're watching Halloween to see how he's going to do a kill. It's a slasher film. And I agree with you. I don't want to see Michael Myers running around killing children. Now, this story and the way it was told, I think the kid's death was appropriate to the story. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying
I would agree with you. Yes.
So
it did make sense with the story. It just wasn't there just to be there. It did connect with the story because then you got to see the heartache, the grief of the captain
Yeah,
and
that's
how
true.
that affected him under the pressure of all this other stuff going on.
Right. Who again thought this was going to be his last voyage, not because he thought he was going to die, because he was ready to retire. And the funny thing is, he's talking about that at the beginning of the film. He's like, "This is the last voyage," and then the guy he's setting up to be the next captain, who, by the way, played Scarecrow in The Dark Knight, or Batman Begins, I should say. I guess he was in The Dark Knight.
He was
too.
in Dark Knight.
Right.
Was it the same actor? It was the same actor, right?
Yeah, it's the same actor. And who else has he played? Oh, I think he played Oppenheimer too. I think.
That's what you said on Monday.
Yeah, David Dashmalshian. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he
was the polka dot guy in the Suicide Squad movie.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's funny. But yeah, he's setting him up to be the next captain and everything. And I looked at Megan, I go, no, he ain't. He's gonna die.
He did.
They all did.
We totally should have that. We should have that as a meme to play.
I've been trying to find that sound clip. I can't find a sound bite of it. Man, if I can find a sound bite of it, I would have it for our show. But I haven't found it. So I'm not sure if there actually is a sound bite. I think it was in print is how that story was told. But anyway.
Okay.
Anyway. It's still funny though. Now, okay, so what did you think about all the crates?
That is a great question, because with all the dirt in them, I was like, are there other bodies in these? Kind of a thing. And I had wondered, because they were like, oh, they're all dirt, but they never really explained it.
But I've heard this before.
Right.
I've heard this before, and from what I understand, and I think it might have been in Bram Stoker's Dracula, in the movie Bram Stoker's Dracula, that he had to bring so much of his home soil with him over to England. And that's why you had
it's all dirt.
Crates. It's all dirt. It's all soil from Romania. Which I thought was kind of, I me knowing that detail in the background, I thought was cool. But you're right. They didn't really explain it. They just, they said there were all these crates. And then when the one guy was busting them open, and then he would shove, I don't remember what he was shoving, a rod or something into it. And he's like, it's just dirt. It's just dirt. It's just dirt. And I'm like, yeah, I know why it's dirt, because he's got to have that dirt for wherever he puts his coffin and such.
Interesting. I like that lore. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's good lore, but they didn't explain it in the film. It would have been better if they would have explained it. But I guess they didn't really have anyone on the boat who knew why.
Right. Unless it was the girl, but even then, true. I don't think they talked about it.
That's true, because she knew so much, because she's actually from his from his hometown and everything. So, and she's the one he was feeding off of. So at first I thought there were other bodies, he was just keeping them for food at first. And then when the guy started putting the rod down in him, and he's like, it's just dirt. It hit me. I was like, wait a minute. I've heard this lore before. And that's why. So 50 crates of Romanian dirt.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
Oh, when he is up on the deck and just attacking everyone. And you finally get to see a really good
the big third act fight sequence kind of stuff. And you see his fully formed, or now not as not timid, but drained, or but I've been feeding on humans one a night, or one every other night, or something like that. And he's been how do they put it? he's been rationing.
A human a day keeps the doctor away.
Right. I love it.
So,
That's
Megan,
good.
what would you say your favorite part was?
I'd probably have to agree because it's like the climax,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a really that's where it hits hard.
That's where the movie really starts moving, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
because you're right, there are some slow points in the movie here and there, but for the most part, it moved fairly well. It wasn't too bad. So, Stephen, what was your favorite part in the movie?
Mine was the first kill. That
That's a
was the
good kill.
creepiest thing. So everybody, I'm going to describe the scene for you so you kind of see it. But there's there's this one shipmate. He's on there. He's doing his rounds on top of the thing, and all of a sudden he sees underneath the stairwell that goes up to the top part of the ship, but it's still on the deck. But underneath there is like this small body kind of looking thing. Looks really frail and stuff. And you're like, he's looking at his list. Where in the world? That's not what he said, but where in the world did you come from? Kind of a thing.
Right.
And he's looking, and it looks like, oh, he's not that powerful yet, kind of a thing. And it was an incredible jump scare because it was not just a jump scare, it had purpose that all of a sudden he sprung out of there like a bat out of hell, kind of a thing. And then
Nice choice of words.
Yeah. Sliced the throat of the guy in midair, and the guy fell. And so he's bleeding, and it's a little gruesome. It's horror kind of a thing. You see his neck, it's pouring out blood, but he is still weak. And you see him crawling up from the bottom of the shoes, crawling up his legs to his chest to get up to him. And you see the big hand on the face, and he pops his head over. And I first thought he was dead, like he popped his neck thing, but he wasn't.
No.
And he was sitting there, and he went, the vampire went right into his neck and just started, and you hear the slurps that are going on. But at the same time, the actor who did it was fabulous, because he was like, you saw his eyes, and his eyes kept moving, going, it gave the look of horror, surprise. I can't believe this is happening. You got all those emotions just from the way he did his eye movements. And when I saw the first kill, I was like, oh my goodness, if this is the first one, all the other ones are going to be spectacular.
Nice.
And I was not let down. Each one was a unique way that somebody went, all still with the same theme of a vampire biting them, but each one was still different.
Right.
Each of the kills was still different, and I enjoy that, because it is like it's so funny you said that about Halloween. Well, how's Michael Myers going to do it? This should be interesting. You have that expectation, and I did not have that expectation for a vampire movie openly. I was like, oh, they're just going to suck their blood and they'll fall over or something.
Oh, no, I agree with you on that. I agree.
I have to give the storytellers credit, because they did each one unique. While still maintaining the Dracula lore, but they still did each one pretty unique and all.
So you're saying they gave it kind of a slasher flair, but it's still not a slasher flick.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great movie. But again, I it's not going to be every Halloween I got to watch this or anything, you know. Most of the time Halloween I try to watch Young Frankenstein, because I try to watch Halloween. Your mother don't like Halloween though.
Which Halloween? Which one?
Well, my preference is the original or the 2018. Those are my two favorite Halloween films.
Okay.
We're eventually going to find and watch all of them, though.
Yes, eventually. Because I've never seen every one of the... When I say Halloween, I mean the Michael Myers series. That's
yes.
Right. Not just the generic Halloween.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Charlie Brown Halloween special.
The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
The Great Pumpkin. I'm surprised no one's done a horror movie of the Great Pumpkin. Well, they have Pumpkinhead.
Well, yeah. I don't think that's old enough yet.
Oh, good call. May not be.
Yeah, it's not in public domain yet.
Got Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, well, they got Winnie the Pooh, but Winnie the Pooh's older than Charlie Brown, so
Correct.
yeah.
Right.
That could make an interesting horror flick, though. I don't want to see the Winnie the Pooh horror flick. I
refuse to watch it.
Megan grew up as a big Winnie the Pooh fan. She loved Winnie the Pooh from the time she was less than 2 years old. So
yeah,
it's hard for me to do a horror.
I'll be open
flick.
with you. I don't want to see another B movie horror movie. I think I was ruined by Werewolf Santa.
Oh God.
Oh gosh, that was so bad. And we did that with the Three Geeky Dads, didn't we? Didn't we have?
Oh yes,
yeah.
Could you please twist the knife a little bit more? Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
gosh, yes. That I introduced Three Geeky Dads to what could possibly be the worst movie ever made.
Yeah. Well,
worst movie ever.
Worst movie ever. We should do that for a t-shirt. Worst movie ever. I like it. That sounds great.
Nice.
Nice. He'll shoot your eye out. Anyway. Okay. Any last thoughts, comments, funny anecdotes about the good old Last Voyage of the Demeter? I've got one, but I don't know if you guys had anything.
Just that I enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, I think it's a great addition to the Dracula lore.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
It is totally recommend it.
Yeah.
Right
Especially
on.
if you like vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it served as a great. I enjoyed the story as being part of the lore, like you said, Mike. I liked it as, so that's how he got there. You know what I'm saying? That's how he made it. So yeah, I enjoyed that because I always kind of wondered. It's like, wait a minute, I thought he was in Transylvania, kind of a thing.
I do also I go back and forth on like the vampire lore of whether or not I like them looking more human or more monster. This is kind of one I like.
Ooh.
I'm lean more towards the monster side. I do like the look of it. He almost looks like a gargoyle.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I like gargoyles.
Now,
yeah,
you bring up something interesting there because the final scene.
This is what I want to talk about. Go for it. Yeah, that's
okay. So, like we said, there were 2 survivors on the boat, and we are in spoiler territory to a movie that's a year old. So, but the doctor, he was a doctor. He's the one who survived. Clemens, right?
More or less the main character.
Right. Yeah, he's pretty much the main character of the film. He's the one who survives, and he ends up in a pub in England, and in walks Dracula.
Or he's already sitting there, right? Isn't he already sitting there?
Yeah, he's like leaning against the wall.
Yeah, he's like leaning against the wall. But you get a partial look at his face, and he still looks pretty much like he did on the boat. Now, I thought it would be interesting if they would have made him start to look a little more humanish. Because I think Dracula should eventually look human and not
he should
100%.
be able to blend in.
He should be what?
Be able to blend in.
Right, exactly. Especially if you are in a pub, it looks like a very popular pub in England, So that was my only real complaint, really. And it's not so much a complaint, it's just, I guess, a criticism on their film choice, on their character choice at the end. But yeah, I felt he could have started to look a little more human, and so like man said, he could blend in better.
I thought that last scene it looked like it was starting that journey that he was looking more human for me.
Did you think so?
I did. Not that he looked human, don't get me wrong, but it's like, gosh, he even looks more so now compared to from the very beginning. You know how he progressed. I mean, it was like, yeah, he has wings now. He has wings now. You know.
Facial structure did change just a tiny bit.
I guess it did. I don't know. It just, to me, it didn't seem
I don't
like
know.
it
I'd have to
changed.
go back and look at it.
I don't know. I didn't think it changed enough. That's all. I mean, I
Yeah.
know he can't. He's just off the boat, and they can't
Mhm.
actually have him fully look like a human already. But I agree. He should have blended in just a little bit more.
Do you think I'm curious about Clemens? If he's part of that story, I'm curious what happened to him.
Yeah.
Well, the way they make it sound is Clemens is going to hunt him down. So it kind of sounded like they were ending it to where they could continue if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But
They did leave it pretty open.
right, but that would not go along with Bram Stoker's Dracula, I don't think.
I don't think so.
if
Unless
they
he's
do
in
that.
there and we just never realized it or something. I don't know.
And when he said that, my next thought was, his character actually should have been Van Helsing.
Oh, if Clemens becomes Van Helsing?
Well, yeah, I guess they could do that too, where he could actually become Van Helsing. That would be, yeah.
Oh, right on. It sounds like we could probably make an AI fan story of Clemens becoming a type of Van Helsing in pursuit of Dracula. Right. But
So in
he
other
dies,
words,
he dies, she dies, they all die.
They all die. So in other words, Van Helsing is kind of like the pirate, black pirate, the pirate from Princess Bride. What do they call him?
The Dread Pirate Roberts.
Dread Pirate. So Van Helsing is like Dread Pirate Roberts.
All in namesake. I love it. I am not the real Dread Pirate Roberts. I am not the real Van Helsing.
Right.
The original Van Helsing died or retired a long time ago and when lives a very happy life off the coast of Italy on an island of his own.
On an island of his own. Such a great movie.
I am, in fact, the I am the sixth Van Helsing, but you, my boy, are about to become the seventh holy Van Helsing, the seventh son of a seventh son.
Nice. Hey, that's a good Maiden album, by the way. I mean, since we are in spooky time, right?
We are, by golly. All right, man. Well, that's all I've got. Anything else?
Nope. I think that's about it.
It was a great movie, everybody. Go see it if you get a chance. If you are able to see it on any streaming service where you don't have to pay for it, definitely watch it. Or if it's part of one of your subscription plans, it is worth seeing. It really is.
Okay.
Would you see it in the theater?
I wanted to see it in the theater last year, and I missed it. But I really wanted to.
Man, I bet you on the big screen, that's a good one.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool. I think I would have enjoyed it on the big screen. So, you gonna do our?
Yes. Hey, everybody! Thank you so much for joining us today here on the wonderful Two Geeks and a Microphone. Hey, everybody! I want to let you guys know about Audible. We have an affiliate sponsorship with Audible, and you can get there at audibletrial.com/2geeks, TWOGEKS. And I love Audible. You can get thousands upon thousands of different audiobooks to choose from. You get 1 credit as part of their membership. You get 1 credit every month to pick any book, any audiobook that you want. It's a $4.99 audiobook. Sure. But why? Because there's some audiobooks that are $20, $30, even $40, but you can get it with 1 Audible credit, which costs you $14.95 a month. Now, here's the cool thing. You go to our link, you can get your first month for free. Free 90 free, everybody. And you can pick out Bram Stoker's Dracula. Ooh, better yet, I should check because there's also the Audible Plus catalog. So not only can you choose books from mysteries and thrillers and self-improvement and romance and self-improvement, there's all those, but then you get what's called the Audible Plus catalog just for being a member. And they have a lot of classics that are included, free 90 free. So not only do you get a free book, a free audiobook of your choice, whichever one you decide to pick, but you can also get part of the Audible catalog, which with your membership gives you access to those. If you do pause or cancel your membership, you no longer have access to those. I have over 200 audiobooks in my library. And I started with Audible 7 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And they do all kinds of deals. Sometimes you can do 2-for-1 deals as well. So it is pretty cool. It is pretty neat. So, all right, just go there, audibletrial.com/2geeks and start your Audible membership today.
Nice. All right. And if you've made it this far, please make sure and go and like and subscribe to us on both Facebook and here on YouTube or on Twitch or wherever it is you happen to be watching us. But give us a big thumbs up on Facebook. I try to post a lot of funny memes there. Any information on upcoming shows is this one. And when we will be live. And speaking of live, we normally go live. Obviously, today is not live. Today is recorded. Is it live or is it Memorex? Well, it happens to be Memorex today. But speaking of live, we normally go live on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You do the math because I don't like math. And I think that's all I got. Anything else, Stephen?
Nope, that's it. Sounds good.
All right. So with that said, over and out. Please don't, Stephen, skip this episode because we're much more better than the rest.
Two geeks, a microphone. The night is dark and deep. Stories told, the tales unfold. Secrets we shall keep. Halloween's here, the geeks are near with tales to make you fear. Laugh and screams, it's all a dream, but the fun is so clear. Movies, shows, the spooky pros, we dissect them all with glee. Monsters, ghouls, and ghostly fools, no topics off limits